Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video we will continue learning about NumPy arrays. So to start off, we're going to type some lines which we are going to type in basically every video for the rest of the quarter. Import numpy as np. Now what we've already seen is that we can create an array from a list. So we can say list is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, comma, 2, comma, 1, comma, 2, comma, 3, comma, 4, no comma at the end, a equals np.array l. And we can take a look at what it looks like. And so arrays are list-like objects, but they're not arrays, they're not lists, they're arrays. There's also lots of other ways which we can create a NumPy array. For example, if we set n equal to 3, just for illustration purposes, we can get an array of n zeros by typing np.zeros n. If we wanted to get an array of n ones, we type in np.ones of n. Now suppose we wanted random numbers between 0 and 1. Here we type in np.random.rand of n. We also can play with the NumPy version of range, which is going to be pronounced a range. Very common mistake, which I'm probably going to make several times in this course, is to put in 2 R's, but there is only 1 R. And this is going to be exactly like a range, but with a NumPy array. numpy.arange of 10. And we can check that the type of np.arange is a Numpy array. It looks like a range object, but it's a NumPy array, and that's because you're using the arange command, array range. Now another similar type thing is the linspace command. So here we type in np.linspace for linearly spaced points, and you go with the start, the stop, and the number of points. So linspace by default returns floats. But other than that, this gives you the exact same behavior as np.arange10. But what's really nice is you can specify the first point, the last point, and the number of points. So these are all 1D arrays, but if you wanted to get an n by n array, we could again set n equal to 3, and then type in np.zeros. And now here is something which is a little bit tricky. Is you would think that you would want to type in np.zeros n. But this is not quite going to work. You need to make sure that the inner argument here is a tuple. Instead, if you wanted it to be an array of all ones, you would type in np.ones of n. And let's actually make the comments match the code. There, now that looks nice. And that's how you get a 2D array. If we wanted to get a 3D array, we would do np.ones of n by n by n. Again, the inner argument's a tuple. 3D arrays are a little bit harder to visualize, but one thing you can do is you can look at the shape of it by using the np.shape command. So let's call this thing A3 since it's a A3D since it's a 3D array. We can type in np.shape of A3, or we can type in A3D.shape. And we can see that either of these is going to print that it's a 3 by 3 by 3. Where I printed it twice because I used both the np.shape command, where we're using a function from the Numpy module, or a.3d, which is using the fact that NumPy arrays are class objects which have an attribute of shape. Generally, with all of this stuff, there's going to be two ways of doing it. You can type in np dot, or you can type in a dot after the object. And you know what, to make that a little bit more clear, let's actually just put this each on its own line. So that's what happens when you type in np.shape a3d. And if you type in a3d.shape, you see that you get exactly the same thing. So objects have shapes, but we can also reshape them. So to do reshaping, here's how you get the numbers 0 through 14. A is equal to np.arange 0. Arange 15 will give you 0 through 14. Look at A. And we can reshape A into a 3x5 array by saying A is equal to A dot reshape 3x5. And what you should be annoyed at is that here the inner argument is not a tuple. So with np.zeros, the inner argument was a tuple, but here it's not. So that's something which is very easy to get caught up on, and I don't really have a good explanation for why. My honest best guess is that the person who wrote the np.zeros command is a different person than the person who wrote the np.reshape command, although I'm not entirely sure. Very easy to get caught up on, but you just got to remember it. And that's it for this video. I'll see you guys again next time.